You gotta be hype. Like you gotta be ready to go. Ready to go? Yo, dude, where'd you go? Here we go.
Cultural entertainment, sucker.
RecBoys.
Turn that shit up, it's Big Face Beat.
Yeah, we in the studio. Yeah, we in the studio. We in the studio. The studio. We in the studio. Yeah, we in the studio. We in the studio. The studio. You know what we doing, supporting indie artists. DJ Shy, Mr. Catch Rec, got the cup of Henny charging. Out the margin with the topic of discussion. Money talk, we here to fussing, and they keep the special guests coming. Shy got the mute button, Chris got the drop. In the studio, they get it out the pot. They play the videos, let them know how to knock. Number one podcast, two kings, they claim the top spot. Take it to the next stop, get your merch at the rec shop. Swerving all lanes, got no time for the rest stop. No vest needed, intellectual bullets, get your head shot. From Spanish braids to dreadlocks, we here for the people. Did it from vinyls with needles, can't play hard if you Kegels. Looking for my ring like I'm Schmeagle, here for the bread like a seagull. Warring for the flow, it's illegal. Everything out the vein, let it bleed through. Checking when you coming, cause we see you. We in the studio, yeah, we in the studio. We in the studio, the studio. We in the studio, yeah, we in the studio. We in the studio, the studio. We in the studio, yeah, we in the studio. We in the studio, the studio. We in the studio, yeah, we in the studio. We in the studio, the studio.
RecBoys. Tapping with my guys, the RecBoys. You should tap in too.
RecBoys.
Cultural entertainment, sucker.
What's shaking, my peoples? You already know what it is. DJ RecBoy Shy.
Mr. Catch Rec.
He's always slow on that part, but you already know what it is. It's in the studio with the RecBoys. We are in the building. Happy Hump Day. Hope everybody is getting into the holiday season. I hope everybody is safe. I hope everybody is in the best of health. What's shaking, homie? How you feeling?
Oh man, you already know, bro. Blessed, glad to be back. You know what I'm saying? What's good with you though? How's everything?
Everything is actually great. Everything is going good. I think I'm gonna do a birthday party for my wife this weekend. I think I'm just gonna have a big shindig, tell everybody pull up. My wife is heavy on the seafood boil, so I actually might have one. I might, it's her birthday, so I already know I'm gonna spend that night. I'm not taking her to DR, but I'm gonna do something. So, right. But how was your trip, man?
It was dope. It was dope, man. We had a good time. We had a real good time.
How was it being in DR, my man? Because I haven't gone. So, and this was your first time, so fill me in. I need to know.
Nah, it was kind of like the same, like going to PR. You know what I mean? Same as Mexico. You know what I'm saying? It was just a different vibe, more tropical. You know what I'm saying? It was. I speak the language, so it was. You know what I mean? We were chilling.
Right. You was with your people. You was with your distant cousins and shit, right?
Yeah, it's crazy because they was like, yo, all of them was like, yo, you Puerto Rican? I'm like, yeah. They was like, you Dominican now? And I'm like, yeah, hold on, relax. Like we won, Bobby. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
just
it.
Give my mama one. Yeah, give my mama one. Please stop playing.
That's it.
But yo,
that's it.
I'm excited about the night, bro, because like, we had this interview booked probably for like almost 2 months now. You know what I mean? And like we was talking with the guest, he was like, yo, I've been promoting this since November. And I sat there and thought like, damn right, we have been pushing this for a minute. And what's crazy is because I was dumb excited about this one. You know what I mean? Like, you talking about Stetson Sonic. You talking about the first hip hop band. Like, really think about this. And I'm saying the first hip hop band. Go, if you don't know, go look it up. And if you find somebody else, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to know. You know what I mean? Like, these guys paved the way for the guys like the Roots. Let's keep it a stack.
Nah, yo, listen, I'm gonna let you get your shit.
And that's not the Henny talking. Like, you know, that's not the Henny talking.
I'm a fan out.
You know what I'm saying? Like, first band to record live instrumentation that I know of. You know what I mean? So without, like, I'm not even gonna waste no more time. Like, we talking about Bobby Simmons.
The one and only
Ah,
Right.
Ah,
Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at?
yo, listen. I didn't know you were coming with your own sound effects and all of that. My son
I
is
Where
he's
Brooklyn at?
prepared. Oh shit! That might be the first. You might be the
Right.
first.
No, that's the first.
You
That's the
literally
first.
might be the first.
Appreciate it.
But,
How y'all doing, man?
We're doing
Bless.
great, but real quick, we gotta let the people know. You have to let the people know who you are and why we got you here. And just in case they don't know, I need you to break it down for them.
Okay. Well, peace to everybody that's watching. Thanks. Want to say thanks to the RecBoys for having me on the show today. My name is Bobby Simmons. I'm from the original hip hop band Stetson Sonic. We put out our first album back in 1986. We had the first, well, I don't want to say the first Brooklyn record because Cutmaster DC had the first Brooklyn record, but we had the biggest Brooklyn record called Go Stetson, which got a lot of people chain snatched and during that time. But and the first original hip hop band. And we're still going strong till this day now, man. Even with new music and stuff. So we still here. We still here.
Nice.
Yo.
I was telling Chris, and I also was telling you that I didn't get flavor videos where I was at.
Yeah, man. You from where? Where you from?
I'm from Liberty, New York. So
Okay.
I was probably Middletown might have been the farthest because it was public access. So our public access started at I want to say maybe Poughkeepsie and then up. It wasn't too. I mean, but we did see Video Music Box. So
Yeah,
maybe
well,
I just wasn't in tune.
Yeah, Video Music Box was on a public access channel that had a much big carrier. So, but we had a big carrier too because we was on in Miami, Florida, we was on in Philadelphia, we was on in Atlanta, Georgia, and New York. But you said Middletown, so the farthest we got upstate is when Mary first came on the show, and we had everybody that was from Slow Bomb. I think that's the farthest that went to when we had the show, and at least in that particular area. Because when you said Middletown, I'm trying to think, wasn't we on up in that area? But probably not.
So you know where the Commons are, right? Woodbury Commons.
I'm sorry?
You know where Woodbury Commons is at?
Yeah, no, Woodbury. Yeah.
Right. Picture an hour north of that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We didn't. Yeah, it didn't reach that far. I don't know why it didn't reach that far because, like I said, the station that I was with partners with, we had like a system that was able to tap in to Miami's stations and Philadelphia and Atlanta stations live. Because that's how I got a lot of groups on the show that was in the South because they were watching the people in Liberty City, Poking Beans. They was like, yo, so they would watch it. So we knew that our transmitter was working in certain markets. But yeah, that one probably got past us. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning of Such Sonic because I was reading that was signed to Tommy Boy, and I think I've read that you weren't sure to sign because you were already doing tours with artists doing your 1-2, so you wasn't sure if you was going to be a part of the group or not.
Right. I mean, what happened with Stetson Sonic? The first deal that Stetson Sonic actually got. I mean, I was with the guys from the beginning.
Like y'all always did y'all 1-2, but you didn't know if you wanted to.
Exactly. Yeah, we was riding. Anytime something came up, we was riding. But the first deal that got offered to us, the Stetson Sonic, was from Sugar Hill Records. That was the first deal.
Shit.
And that was back in '83 because Mr. Magic was the first guy who put us on, and Fly Ty was our manager at the time. This was like 1983 and '84. So, and Fly Ty was managing us. He was, I'm not sure if y'all familiar with Fly Ty. He was the one that managed and started Cold Chillin' Records. He had Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, Roxanne Shante, everybody. Just, whoever was on Cold Chillin', that was Fly Ty, Biz Markie. But we were the first Cold Chillin' act. You know what I'm saying? Not on Cold Chillin' Records, but we was the first Juice Crew because we was with Fly Ty in the very beginning, way before Kane and them. But
don't let Shan hear you say that shit.
Shan can't say that. And if Shan is watching that, Shan know that's our people's, man. Shan,
Shan crazy.
I know.
Had Shan on here a few months ago. Oh my God.
But Shan, our people. Shan know. Yo, Shan, I'm Bobby keep I keep a book. And I'm not talking about a writer's book. I'm talking about record books of what's on the record, 1983.
Yeah.
Stop it. Fly Tower was our manager, so they know. I mean, Shannon's not gonna go hard on us because Shannon knows our history and he knows, how we came about. But it wasn't until 1985, and at that time I was playing drums. I used to get called to back other artists up on drums, because I'm a drummer. And I used to get calls to play with y'all remember the lady Shannon? She had the hit record, Let the Music Play. You won't get.
Yeah.
I actually played on that record, and I was her drummer for that tour when she did that tour. Actually, I'm still her music director now. I also got to play with the Force MDs, who wound up became our label mates when we on Tommy Boy Records. And I remember I got a call from Natalie Cole. I'm sure y'all familiar with Natalie Cole, singing Natalie Cole.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you because I read that too.
Yeah. I got a call, to do a gig with her. But at the time that I got the call to do the gig with her, I was like, "Yo, Bobby, I'm gonna keep moving. I'm getting some money here and there. I was a young kid, like seeing like back then. We talking about like maybe 84, 85, seeing like $200 a show. You was like, "Yo, this is money." You know what I'm saying? Like back then, $200. Yeah. I'm doing 5 shows in 1 week. That's like $1,000 for a young kid like me. Yeah. So I got a call.
Back then, that's
exactly. So I got a call from a friend of mine who was playing with Natalie Cole. She was doing these jazz festivals, and he said, "Yo, one of their drummers got a call to do another gig. It was somebody big. I'm not sure who it was back then. It was either Phil Collins or somebody, one of them big artists." I said, "Yeah, I'll do the gig," but we had just found out that we was releasing the first album, the Stetsonic first album, On Fire. So I'm thinking to myself, yo, Just Say Stead is already out. It's doing okay. We're not really banging right now. So whatever. So I got this gig with Natalie Cole, but I went in there, and let me just kind of let your audience know and let y'all know, man, you talking to a 15-year-old kid back then. I was, when I heard we was getting ready to put a record out, I was like, yo, we getting ready to blow up because hip-hop is blowing up. Salt and Pepper out there. At that time, Salt and Pepper had Tramp out. They had, who else was out there? There was a lot of artists out back then. Even Cool
Kid and Play was out. There was a lot of artists. Yeah,
a lot of artists out back then. And they weren't even popping. It's just that a little bit of noise was shaking, back then. We talking about 80, 85, 86, Salt and Pepper. So it was like, they had I Take Your Man Out. And we was like, yo, we had our own little world going on. So I kind of went Natalie Cole's cipher. Like, well, I'm going to play, because I know her songs. So I'm going to play the songs with a hip hop swing. It's not what she wanted. She didn't like that. But I'm telling her, yo, I'm telling you, this going to ride for your show. Yo, I'll never forget this. And I tell this story a million times. I'll never forget. And this was my learning lesson. It never happened ever since that. Natalie Cole looked me in my face and told me, I don't care what group you have, what rap record you coming out with. When I ask you to do something in my camp, you do it the way how I want it done. I'm a 15-year-old kid like, all right, we getting ready to blow up.
Yeah, no, but that's a big lesson right there too, because you get paid to provide a service.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So she's paying you to do what she's asking you to do. That's a big lesson.
Exactly.
But you probably wasn't looking at it like that.
No.
Like,
no, because I was
blowing up the mall. Like
exactly. I was there, and Tommy Boy was giving us a party. I think that week, it was during the Christmas week. It was like, yo, we get ready to have a party at the Latin Quarters. I used to work at the Latin Quarters. So I'm like, everybody gonna be there. Heavy D, whatever, Natalie Cole. I'm getting ready to blow. But I learned, first of all, I had respect for the music and for the artist. So I learned, yo, Bobby, that's Nat King Cole's daughter. I grew up, my parents grew me up on Nat King Cole. So I'm thinking, yo, that's Natalie Cole. So of course I came down after she fired me, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I came down. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, yo, even though the Stetsasonic thing was happening and was working, I still wanted to get called to do other gigs, to play drums with other artists, because I love playing drums. Thank God it worked out for me and nobody else looked at it that way. And my whole attitude changed since then anyway. So
because you could have easily been blackballed. That could have been the beginning and end of the Bobby Simmons story.
Exactly.
Right from the beginning. All right, so I'm gonna fan out a little bit. Last week I asked everybody to send me their questions. There's some people in here watching. Nobody sent me no questions. So guess what? I'm gonna ask all the fucking questions I want.
All right.
I'm gonna fan out. So now you gotta deal with what I want to know. Okay, let's take it back, right? Real quick, for the people that are tuned in, you were there when it went down.
What hip hop?
You were there when it went down. Let's get into that.
All right.
First and foremost, because I need the people that's tuned in to understand who we have. Like, we have somebody, a living historian.
Okay.
A living historian. He was there. He can vouch. You don't have to Google anything. You don't have to go and look and listen to this person and that person from somebody who thought they were there. You were there. You were how old at the party?
At the first party that I ever went to was at the Roxy's. This was the Roxy's Club back in the. I'm talking about. Let me tell you how big hip hop was even then, and we didn't know it was big because we just thought we felt we was in our zone doing our own thing. None of us thought we was going to see 2023, 24 the way it is. So we were just kind of digging what we was doing. But back then, there was a lot of people. Of course, we give big up to guys like Kool Herc, who was him and his sister. They was giving like these parties in the Bronx, as far as giving the gang members a place to not fight and stab. This was prior to shooting. They weren't shooting. They were stabbing each other back then, with the black spades and all that. It was like this. It's not how it is today. It was like,
it was crazy. Like, you talking about an era in Brooklyn and even in New York as a whole where it was people weren't together as we are right now.
Exactly.
It was really cliques. You know what I mean? And you knew not to go. God, answer his question, because I definitely got another question.
Oh no, but you're definitely on point with it. But that's I know that was the first time I ever experienced like a real party is when I walked into a club like the Roxy's, because at the time the Roxy's was more of a what can I say, maybe more like of a freestyle dance kind of club, but they started turning into a hip hop spot because they was bringing everything from the Bronx down to Manhattan. And I'm going to say this too on your show. We got to big up Bambaataa at least on this. I mean, I know people got the questions.
The issues with them. Yeah.
And I'm one of them guys like prayers in for everybody. But Bam brought a lot of that downtown. And the only reason why artists like Deborah Harry from the group Blondie knew about hip hop is because Bam and them came down to play at this this club. It was like a punk club. It was called CBGB's. And that's where you get to see a lot of the punk acts that was coming in from Europe and London. Like, you see the Cars and all these other punk bands, and they rocked out in there. But what happened was the club owner was like, well, look, this rap thing seems to be bringing people from uptown to downtown. So why don't I give you guys, you can have the club to do your thing from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And then the punk people, like, the punk bands can come in and do their thing from 10 to whatever time. But Deborah Harry and them used to come early to see what was going on. And Deborah having them got the experience, Funky 4 plus one more, and the Cold Crush and Grandmaster Cash and them, because they were the ones who was in that club performing, and even Flash and Melly Mel and them, they were in that club performing. So when you heard a song like Rapture, and big up to Fab Five Freddy, because Fab was the one who brought her down to the club. That's why when you hear the song Rapture, she goes, Fab Five Freddy's bringing everybody's side, DJs, because she's got to see all of that, Grandmaster Flash and them in that club that night, CBGB's, because they would do a 7 o'clock for the rappers, and then they would do the 10 o'clock for the punk. They would let all the hip hop kids out, and then let all the punk audience come in. But she was able to stay to watch that, and that's why she was able to introduce hip hop to the world on Saturday Night Live, which the first group to perform. First rap group to ever. And I know people debating it. Stop debating it. There's no debate. The first rap group to ever perform on Saturday Night Live was Funky 4 plus one more. You can Google it. You can YouTube it. It's a fact. I keep receipts and dates and years of stuff. They were the first. Stop with everybody putting other groups to no. Funky 4, because Deborah Harry introduced them on the show, Saturday Night Live. So it was a big deal for me, man, knowing that all this stuff was going on in these clubs. Then I got the job at the Latin Quarters. I became a DJ at the Latin Quarters Club, the famous Latin Quarters Club.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, because
how old were you?
When I got the DJ at the Latin Quarters, I was 16 going on 17. And big up to Paradise Gray, who actually gave me the job, because one of their DJs disappeared and they didn't know where Raul went. His name was DJ Raul. And we was like, yo, anybody seen Raul? And nobody, because Raul used to play a lot of, back then, the freestyle music was pretty big. You had, the TKAs and they called it the freestyle music back then, He was more into that with the Cynthias and those. Even though Raul played hip hop music, but he didn't. So all of a sudden, Raul disappeared. One night he didn't show up, and they needed a DJ. So I told Paradise, I said, "Yo, Paradise, I DJ." He was like, "Yeah, Bob, you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah." So he let me play for 2 hours. Of course, I brought the people in on the floor because I knew the records. And then Red Alert would come on after me because Red Alert was the main DJ. He would come right after he would play on Kiss FM at the time. He would do a Kiss FM show from 9 to 11, and then he would come to the Latin Quarters at midnight and play from maybe 1 o'clock to like maybe 2:30. So I was about 16 years old then when I got the gig at the Latin Quarters.
So now let me ask you this, just to set the precedence for people, because you're talking about 80s, right? Early 90s. In New York at the time, it wasn't known to travel to other boroughs. If you was from one borough, you stood in your neighborhood. You know what I mean? Unless you had to go out there to go do a 9 to 5. Like, let's keep it a stack, right? So how is it in this time of hip hop? You know what I mean? Especially in the 80s and even in the 70s, it was even worse. Like literally, you couldn't cross the fucking street. You know what I mean? I want to let people know, like, because y'all did a lot for this shit to get to where it's at now, and they need to know what we endured. What y'all endured, because I came, I'm an 80s baby, you know what I mean? So I came a little bit later, but I know my history. My pops and them made sure they was telling me what was going on, you know what I mean? So for y'all doing what y'all was doing, how was the transition really to push hip hop? And did you know it was gonna be what it is now?
Well, where you from? Brooklyn? You from Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Okay.
What you got?
All right, so let me talk about Brooklyn real quick. Let me talk about Brooklyn.
I love this.
Let me talk about Brooklyn real quick, because I'm from Brownsville.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm from Brownsville. I'm from Van Dyke Project. You know what I'm saying? So let me talk about Brooklyn real quick.
Yeah, Van Dyke. Yeah.
Yes, 429, baby, right there where the O is at. So we was in the midst of all that. All the buildings were surrounded by us. Tilden, Cephalo, Langston Hughes. We was surrounded. For us, because what are you asking? Do you mean like what was it like musically, or what was it like just growing up in the barrel?
Just music, because like, all right, you might have been, people in your neighborhood might have knew you was dope, but at one point you like, all right, I'm gonna go over here to Fort Greene, I'm gonna go over here to Bushwick, I'm gonna go over there to Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? When that transition started happening, how was it? You know what I mean? Because I remember hearing stories like, yo, you don't, unless you were going with people to Manhattan, you don't want to go over there because you already know we not, like, that wasn't where we were supposed to be.
Right. Well,
you know what I'm saying?
For us, it was the transition wasn't that bad because there were other groups that I need to give big up to. Who's this? William Martinez. Love hearing about the history. I came up on all this shit. I see you, William Martinez.
That's the homie Pito. Pito in the building. That's the homie.
For us, the transition, it was still a little bit rough, but it was easy for us to go to other boroughs because we had other rappers who was from other boroughs. Like groups like Houdini, they were from Crown Heights. So there was another rap group who was from Brooklyn who was making music. Again, you had another a group like Bad Boys who had the record Inspector Gadget. They were from Brownsville. So we was able to go to other boroughs in Brooklyn and perform without, having to go, yo, we in Crown Heights. They're gonna rob us because they know we from Brooklyn. We from Brownsville. It wasn't that. Though the people that hung out with us, the ones who was like there were people.
It's always, and it's still today. It's never the musician. It's always the niggas that be running with them. And that's what they're there for. Really.
No, not really. Just in case.
No, but when you're, let's keep it a buck. Mm-hmm. I don't care from the beginning to now. There's always been, listen, to move. I don't know where anywhere else, but to move in New York, you have to have certain people, else you just wasn't going to be able to mix.
Right, of course. Of course. So we had to be able to tame them, though, and let them know. Because at the time, we and you have to realize that most of the members in Stetson Sonic are Muslims. So we had to really make it understood that we got to walk a certain way and we got to be a certain way. Though we were wild kids ourselves, but we knew that we were now walking into we weren't 13, 14 years old no more. We were coming of age of 17, 18 years old. We had to walk a certain way, but we also had to make sure we let them know we're not gonna let nobody try to clown us. So we did have certain people in our crew that was out of control. Our record Ghost Stetson. We had this record called Ghost Stetson. It started off with the drum roll.
I was gonna ask you because that's like the first Annie Up. When you went in the club
Exactly.
and you heard that shit, you was like, "Oh
Man,
shit,
you
go crazy."
You can ask anybody. You can ask Red Alert. You can, and whoever you talk to that grew up at that time, ask anybody. When that record came on and you heard that bam, 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 you just tuck your chain in. If you had on a watch, take it all, put it in your pockets, because cats was roaming the clubs, because they had this little swag where they walked around and see who had what. And you didn't know, they snatched it, because that's how they did. They walked around you. And if you dancing to the record and you're not noticing anything, next thing you realize your chain is gone. That record really did that for those kind of cats that was coming in the club. You only had a certain kind of records that did that. And Annie Up definitely was one of them for sure, for a fact.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: where did the idea come together to mix jazz and hip hop?
Oh,
That's what y'all really did. You know, y'all pioneered that shit. Like, you know what I mean? And even the live instrument, you know, the instrumentation of it. Yeah. How did that all?
Well, we're guys with our background. Myself and Daddy O and Delight. We're musicians, and we have that background in jazz. I want to kind of set it up for you. We of course, everybody, if they don't know, we are the first original hip hop band. But I will say to you that I heard you say at the beginning, you said that we were the first group to use live instrumentation, and that's not true.
It's not?
No, that's not true.
Right.
Because Rapper's Delight is not a sample record. Those are musicians playing.
Oh, really?
Word?
Yeah,
see, I didn't know that. I thought that was a sample.
No. What they did was Sylvia Robinson did was she hired. They had a band called the Sugar Hill Band, and she hired the musicians to replay Good Times, because back then you couldn't sample. There was no samples. There was no sample machine. That was 1979. There was no sample machine back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so they had to replay it over. So Curtis Blow was another one at the time. The producer Larry Smith, who worked with bands like Cameo, they played on those original songs like The Breaks. What's the record? That group, Girl, You Know You Try It. Next. Yeah. That's a sample of Curtis Blow's Christmas rapping.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, that
okay.
That's Christmas rapping. Okay. So those are musicians playing on that. How we separated ourselves from that, back then, there were no hip-hop bands. If you wanted to do a rap record, you had to hire the musicians to replay the songs, because you couldn't sample. There was no sample machine. So you had to get someone to replay it. What we did was we started creating our own sound with scratches. We had to truncate it down a little bit. We had to break it down, because it was only DBC, who was a keyboard player, me as a drummer, and Prince Paul as a DJ. That's how we made our music. We didn't really sample a lot. We used a lot of scratches, but we didn't hire a bass player. We didn't hire a guitar player. Anytime we needed a guitar sound, Prince Paul would take the record and he would go, he would scratch a guitar sound. And then DBC would play a bass line with that scratch. So DB would do boom, boom, ba, boom, 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 ba, ba, boom, ba, boom. So with the scratch and DB, then all you got to do is put me in to go boom, boom, ba, boom, 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 ba, boom. So now you got music going on just with the three of us. And that's why we pinned ourselves the hip hop band, because it was just us. We didn't hire Larry Smith. We didn't hire the Sugar Hill Gang band to play. We was like, we're going to be our own musicians. So who you see in Stetsasonic, that's us playing on the record. That's us.
That's fucking crazy.
So when you think about all the other rap records that came out prior to that, like even Houdini records, all of that is Larry Smith and them. They play. Those are musicians playing on it. So I just wanted to correct you that there were musicians.
I appreciate that.
There were musicians playing on rap records back then, but they were never a hip hop band. All they did was recover a song that was already out, like Good Times. So all they did was got somebody to do that boom, 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 boom. But they just got a band to do it. because they couldn't use the original record because they couldn't extend the original record unless the DJ would cut it up. And Sylvia Robinson didn't want to do that. She just said, "I'll get my band to play it." So we pinned ourselves as the hip hop band because we used what we had, and it was just the three. And I'm sorry. And Wise was our human percussionist. He was our beatbox. So when you heard, so when you heard the percussion along with DB playing keys on the bass and Prince Paul scratching a guitar sound or a horn sound and me on the drums, that was your band. We was your hip hop band. Like we couldn't hire a horn player. We couldn't hire a bass player. We couldn't hire a guitar player. We had to make the guitar sounds with what we had. So that's why the turntable is now an instrument, because you can use the turntable now to make any sound you want. You can scratch.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we were ahead of ourselves, and that's why we kind of make it clear to people, if you don't know the history, we don't have a problem you checking the history out, but we are the first hip-hop band because we used what we had to make the music you hear on our first album.
So real quick, before we get to the next segment, I want to ask you, in your opinion, what was the first diss hip-hop record?
Oh, the first diss hip-hop record? Was that, Bobby, your memory go. No, it wasn't Veronica. I think it was Veronica was an answer back to Just Ice LaToya. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was the first kind of diss record. Wasn't it? I'm sorry, Bobby. You bugging. No, it was UTFO's Roxanne. It was Roxanne Shante who answered back to that. But I still have to give Just Ice props too, because people don't mention Just Ice, and he's actually the first original gangster rapper. He is. That was
No. When you think about how he was rapping, absolutely.
That was his title. That was his title. It was Just Ice, the original gangster rap. That when you buy his album, it says Ice, the original on the album. It says Just Ice, the original gangster rapper. That's what it said. And DMX was his partner, not the DMX y'all know. There was another DMX. He was a beatbox. He was a beatbox.
Shit.
He was a beatbox.
Learned something today. Chris wants to
No, I got one more question.
I know, Chris. Why you trying to move on? I got some questions too, my nigga. You asking mad questions.
My bad.
I asked him this shit last.
I got it.
No. I asked him this last night. He was like, "Yo, I don't got my notebook." So I'm like, "Okay, so I know, but that's not what you told me." Listen, my guy. I don't care about none of that right now. You had me prepared. You had me prepared to be like, yo, listen, you're going to be able to ask this. You're going to be able to ask this. All right. Shit. So now I got to get it back. Did you think that, I know it's cliche, that it would go this far? Like literally, because we didn't even cover half of what you've done. We only got into the just one layer of what part of that part of hip hop that you played. Mm-hmm. But seeing it from where you see it to seeing it now, did you believe that it would make it this far?
No, because a lot of people were attacking us. And I'm talking about other artists and I'm not talking about like Michael Jackson, because Michael Jackson actually, he was I've never met Michael Jackson. He was the only person I never got to meet. I mean, a lot of big stars. He was the only one I didn't get to meet. But I know Michael Jackson was becoming a big fan of rap during the Run DMC days and the Run DMC eras. But a lot of R&B artists were getting in our case. They were calling us not original. They were saying we were stealing their music. They saying we weren't giving them credit. So they were kind of beating up on us. So we kind of thought that we was going to get beat down. We didn't think that it was going to extend the way that it is extended now. That's what came to us, Stetsasonic, making the song, writing a song called Talking All That Jazz. Talking All That Jazz actually was written because Gladys Knight, James M. Toomey, and all these R&B artists were talking bad about us.
That's what I was going to ask you about the M. Toomey dish I did.
Yeah. Okay. So he's asking me about did I think it was going to last as long? So no, we didn't think it was going to last as long because everybody was beating up on us saying, oh, it's noise, it's not creative. And they also weren't inviting us to a lot of events because they just think that this is not a part of music. But when we did the song Talking All That Jazz, I think we woke up a lot of artists about hip hop and rap music in general. Us and Public Enemy. I think we opened a lot of eyes. KRS-One. We opened up a lot of eyes to them. And James M. Toomey was one of them. He said one of his favorite groups was Public Enemy. So he kind of opened his eyes to it. He just said, if you're going to sample my music, pay me. And we was like, well, of course we pay people. We never sampled nobody and not paid them. He was just talking about a lot of rappers was using and abusing their music and they weren't getting paid for it. So, but until the day James M. Toomey died, we were best friends with him, man. So he was our dude.
Yeah, hold on. Looks like you're frozen. We're listening, and the audio is going in great. It's just like I don't know. I don't know. Somebody tried calling you, or whatever. You might have to. I don't know if you could pop in, pop out. I don't know. I don't want to take you out and then you not be able to come back.
Yeah, we look like statues. We were so into the story. We was mad.
Nah, I mean, I'm good. Yo, listen, all you need is the audio. I mean, all you got to do is hear because you can picture everything.
I think y'all have to do it because it's y'all. I think y'all might have to do it because I can't click nothing.
Okay, let me. All right, hold on. All right, send them a text to tell them to sign back in. Or if you hear us, hang up and then sign back in. We hit the link that was sent to you. This shit started getting super good.
Yeah.
Super duper good. And here you go. You want to play some trivia. I should act like we don't even got no trivia just so I can just fill it out some more. Fuck out of here. This shit is whack, man. I really want to get into this. This is like.
So, listen, real quick. Let's know where they can catch this next week.
Absolutely. Wapter Radio, Radio for Sale, and Culture Shock Radio. Culture Shock is in Canada. Wapter Radio is in Guadeloupe. And Radio for Sale is in New Mexico. Also, check this out. If you missed any of this, you can check it back on the TuneIn app Saturday night. Blaze 'em Up Radio, 8 to 9 p.m. It will replay. This one will not replay this Friday at 12. It's going to play next Friday at 12. Okay? So I'm looking for him to come back in here.
Okay.
Y'all hear that?
There we go.
But you still frozen. Yeah. I don't know if I gotta kick you out of the thing and then sign back in. That's what you want me to do? Kick him out and have him sign back in?
I don't know if he can hear us. I hope he can hear us.
Nah, he can hear us because he's in the back. But I'm gonna kick you out and just sign back in.
I hope that shit work.
Me too, man. I got mad questions left, man. No, I didn't wait this long for this shit to happen. I'm just saying, yo, listen, I don't know what we're gonna do, my nigga. I didn't wait this long, my nigga. Like this is like, yo, listen, shout out to all our guests. But I don't think you guys understand. Like, we got somebody in here who's practically been the whole lifespan of hip hop. So I gotta get all my shit off. Dude, we didn't even get to ask him about Tupac. We didn't get to ask him about Biggie. There's mad shit we didn't even get to ask him about. ODB. No. We need this guy. We need this guy back. We need, no. Bobby. Yo, Bobby. Listen, what the fuck, my nigga? Yo, listen, my heart hurts right now, nigga. My heart hurts right now, nigga. I'm just telling you, my heart hurts. Listen,
Bobby, he was over here. He was screaming to the internet world, Bobby.
Listen, my heart was hurting, my man. My heart was hurting. I just got real talk. So, I don't want to waste no time.
Shit.
So you've seen the Mount Rushmore. Like, you've seen what people consider what is the Mount Rushmore. Yeah. How do you rank? I'm just going to give you the 5 that people normally.
Wow.
No. And I want you to tell us something about each of them that you remember, because you've been. No, it's different for us. I'm fanning out right now.
Right.
So now, when you talk about Big, Tupac, you worked with the Nas, the Jay-Z's, and even I'm gonna do you one even cooler, the Puns. So now, going through that and seeing all of that, what sticks out to you?
Well, I got to see, not only toured with a lot of the early acts and even some of the acts. I got to work with some of the acts even in the 90s, like I produced Smith and Wesson. I got to work with a lot of cats. So I've seen a lot of cats do some things, but for me,
Go ahead.
though people always ask me about Biggie, and unfortunately, I wasn't Biggie's friend. Daddy Yo, one of the members from my group, was friends with Biggie because they lived down a block from each other. I did get to meet Biggie twice and got to talk to him. So I'm going to start off first with Run DMC.
Got you.
Run DMC for me, because we got to tour with Run DMC. We got to do the Run's House tour, Raising Hell tour. So we got to see Run. My first time seeing Run command the audience blew me away. I never saw nobody tell somebody to put a sneak in the air and repeat after me. It was like some kind of, I don't want to use Hitler as an example. Let's just say like a amount of people saying like, whatever, if you want us to throw the sneakers, we'll throw. It was like, that's the kind of command Run DMC had. And I never saw nothing like that. And I saw Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5, who we patterned ourselves after because we loved them. But
didn't Russell manage y'all?
Yeah, Russell managed us. We was under Rush management for 5 years. So I got to like see running them up close like many a times, like do their thing in the studio and even on tour. So Run DMC for me is one of them, one of the greatest duo acts. I know people got their debate with Outkast, and that's cool. I'm not mad at Outkast, but for me, best duo rap group was Run DMC for me.
Yo, that's crazy because nobody ever says Run DMC, and Run was the first one that I knew of that was that I'm the best. I don't care who you are, where you at.
He carried it.
Yeah, like when I remember seeing Crush Groove. And when he was like, "Oh, word! All right, let me show you exactly why these people are here."
Yeah.
And then when I seen Run's House for the very first time, it was like, yeah, this guy here is just way different.
That was his attitude back then. Like literally, the movie Crush Groove, that was Run's attitude back then. Let me tell y'all something real quick before I tell you my next one. I went to the Rock the Bells concert because we was invited to be a part of the 50th anniversary in Queens that they had in the Rock the Bells concert. And Run DMC was on the bill. That's the first time people got to see Run DMC together in years because they haven't been doing shows. So Run came out. So I'm thinking, all right, they're going to do good. Don't worry about it. People just going to love them because they're a legendary act. Well, here come Run. He come out. This shit is recorded. Run comes out. They finish their song, and they stand there. So everybody gives them a round of applause and a standing ovation because it's Run DMC. So Run takes off his Godfather hat, throws it to the side, and he does his thing. He tells everybody, put a goddamn motherfucking hand in the air. And I go, wait a minute.
This
Ain't he a reverend? Ain't he a reverend? And everybody, I'm talking about the entire arena, put their hands in the air. Then he started talking. He said, I said, everybody put a goddamn hand in the air. He commanded them again in 2023. And then he started talking about, yeah, I'm glad I'm on the Rock the Bells, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, he went into his whole thing again, and then he said, I said, everybody put everybody started to put their hand down a little bit because he had them holding the air too long, and he saw they were putting it down. He said, I said, everybody put a goddamn hand in the air, and they put it back in the air. And then he said, turn the motherfucking lights out. They turned the entire lights out on stage, and he carries that with him every show he doing. I'm like, is this man recreating something he did 40 years ago and it's working today with this audience? He did it. Then he started that. Nah, DJ Run.
Runs my name and
and then as soon as they did it like that, you saw the whole audience jumping, and that's the way it is. I'm like, yo, I don't care what new artist is out today. If you can't command an audience just with something simple, don't act like you that dope because your record got all these likes and ticks. You know what I'm saying? It's about you commanding the audience, literally commanded. And Run DMC commanded, and that's why people felt them and loved them. Biggie was another one because I got to witness Biggie at Daddy-O's house because Daddy-O did the remix to Real Love. Because if you listen on the record, he says,
Daddy-O's in the house. Yeah,
right.
Yo, he says his name on the record. Daddy-O.
Right.
Yeah.
He says it. So I watched him cut those vocals in Daddy-O's house, in Daddy-O's studio. He cut that shit and we cut it in one take.
See?
Oh shit.
One take. Yeah. Puff didn't even want him on it. Puff Puff didn't want him to be heard on the record yet until he got everything ready for him. He said, but Daddy-O convinced him. Daddy was like, no, I'm telling you, Biggie, get on this. It's going to be hot, I'm telling you, because that's Daddy-O's, that's his energy.
Gotcha.
So, so I'm watching Biggie, and he's just sitting there, and he was like, yo, I could do something. He got in the booth, and he let the track run for a minute. I guess he was kind of filling it out. He got that vocal in one take. It wasn't a let me do that again. No, it was one take. What you hear on the record is one take.
Real quick, let me jump in. People say that's what made Big great, is that Big made hits.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he went and recorded, it was a smash. If it wasn't a smash, it wasn't recorded.
Right.
That's why there's not a lot of extra Big verses anywhere.
Right.
Because when Big went in, he went in there and he destroyed everything. He went in there and did what he had to do.
Right. He was definitely clever. His wordplay was clever. His delivery was excellent because to what he did to Give Me the Loot, I'm like, yo, wait a minute, ain't that's like some Slick Rick kind of thing, because he did these two characters that was really dope how he did it. So he was very a guy like Biggie I liked very much. Tupac was another one. Tupac, I know people debate like he was a better rapper than such. Pac delivery was excellent. Pac didn't even have to be a great rapper. His delivery, there are a lot of rappers that were even out back then weren't good, but their delivery is what made you go, wow, he delivered that. I mean, listen, MC Hammer wasn't a great rapper, but one of his records, he did a delivery on it that made you go, yo, that line was hot.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Hammer had lines, whether we liked it or not.
And my point exactly. It was
it
was about your delivery. Now, he wasn't that kind of MC that can go toe to toe, but he made sure at least one of these is going, I'm going to deliver this. Somebody's going to believe in this. And that's what it was about. Pac made sure that he delivered his lyrics vocally to pretty much to all his tracks. And he was very gut punching too. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Tiffany, how you doing? I see your people in the building. What's up, Tiffany?
Yeah, our people's out in the Chi right now. They out there in Chicago.
Oh, in Chicago. What up to everybody in Chi-Town? What's the deal? But I don't mean to cut you up. I just want to let them know there's a lot. It's hard for me to pick a lot of people because Smooth the Hustler is another one of my favorites, man. He's on one of our joints on our album. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And I produced Smooth the Hustler too. Smooth the Hustler, he got a line on our new album that's coming out in March. He says, I'm 5'7", 5'8" be my crown heights. I'm like, you know what? I'm done with him.
Yeah. Just hearing it now, just hearing you repeat it, it was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm done. Like these guys really, so there's a lot. I could tell you who I enjoy, who I like, and who I think is great. Nas is another one. Jay-Z big picks, but he's great. Wordplay, and he does good delivery as well as too. But if you ask me, if somebody said, Bobby, Jay-Z or Nas, I'm going with Nas.
From Brownsville.
No, Nas is from.
No, I'm talking.
No,
I know where Nas is from. I'm talking about you are from Brownsville.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a tough sell right there. I'm just saying because I know some people from Brownsville and they're killing nigga over Jay-Z. I'm just saying.
I think people are more excited watching him go to work and liking the work that he's doing. Because trust me, don't let me fool you. I like a lot of Jay-Z joints, and I listen to his wordplay and how he kind of meshed things together lyrically. So I won't sit here and say to your audience or to you like, Jay is whack. I won't say that. I'm just saying if you asking me who delivers and lyrically play on it a little bit better, for me would be Nas. I mean, that's, people could debate me with that all they want. I broke both artists anyway. You know what I'm saying, on my show. So,
right,
which is
Flavor TV. I want to get into that real quick because I watched the interview where you was talking about I ain't gonna say his name. You can say his name if you want. A particular record label owner, producer who when you played his artist record early on, you know what I mean? It has his artist started.
Talking about Irv Gotti.
Right.
Irv Gotti, yeah.
All right, so you comfortable with saying we was talking about Irv, and when you said what you said, when you was like, yo, listen, you was one of the first guys to play the record video, you know what I mean? And they started getting some buzz and some movement, and all you asked was, yo, listen, every time you drop something, send it back.
Yeah, come back.
It resonated with me because that's what we tell artists all the time. Yo, listen, man, send your videos, come through, chop it up. Something happens. We not asking for much. Just keep sending the music, right? And it's happened to where we had artists on the show. They link up with certain people. They go do their 1-2. They start whatever. And it's like Then you just dropped the video. You couldn't send it.
Right, exactly.
You was just on the show 2 months, 3 months ago. Like, and I know you got the link from here. I know you did because I got the phone call. Like, I'm just not the type of guy to sit here and say it. Maybe not now. I'll probably say it in 20 years or so. We give some time, right? You know what I'm saying? But so how did that all happen? Because like you said, you kind of broke the way for some of these guys like Jay-Z. Not like there was nowhere for people to get their videos or their music really heard in this time. Radio wasn't really fucking with it like that.
They weren't programmed in radio at that time yet, unless it was a big pop record for them, or it crossed over pop. Then black radio said, okay, we can play. But if it didn't cross over pop, wait to hear it on the rap show is what they did. That's how they did it. But
that was the test dummies.
Right, exactly. Bingo. There you go. But me and Ralph McDaniels, I say Ralph more because Ralph's show started way before me. Ralph's show started in '83. But
he wasn't doing hip hop. Let's keep it a buck. Salute to him too, but he wasn't doing hip hop.
No, you
it
wrong.
was later. It was later hip hop though, not at the beginning.
No.
Okay, let me know. School me.
No. I work with Ralph. I work with video music with Ralph McDaniels. Ralph's show. Let me give a quick history on Ralph McDaniels before I answer your thing about Irv Gotti. Ralph McDaniels started a show in 1983. It was called Studio 31 Party, because the show was on channel 31. So it was called Studio 31 Party. And he at that time he was playing, all he had was R&B videos. You know, Cameo, Shalimar, you know, the Michael Jackson Don't Stop Till You Get Enough video, you know, Rock With You, stuff like that. So there wasn't really no rap videos really at the time. The only video that existed back then was maybe Sugar Hill Gang's Eighth Wonder and Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5, The Message. Those are the only ones that really have videos. Ralph started playing consistent videos when Malcolm McLaren and Buffalo Girls was out, when the world famous Supreme Team had their records out. They from LA too. Big shout out to them. Run DMC, when Houdini, matter of fact, Ralph's intro was Houdini's theme song.
You couldn't miss it. As soon as you heard that shit, you knew what was coming on.
Yeah, that's Houdini. and let me tell you another thing Ralph did too that you should learn. The reason why Ralph wasn't playing rap videos, because at the time the independent record companies wasn't making videos. So you know what Ralph used to do? Ralph used to take his camera out to the clubs and
watch him perform. And then perform and then throw on a video in between. So he wouldn't give you, if he couldn't give you the rap videos, he would give you the rap performance. Exactly. And then he would go into something like Blondie, whatever was jumping at the time. James, whatever.
Yeah, that's how he did it. So he was a big supporter of hip hop from the jump. You know what I'm saying? So no, Ralph was he was a front runner for hip hop music. He was a runner for the culture, period. Because what's the difference between Ralph's show and my show? Ralph's show really was for the culture. It was really for the people. Because the show wasn't just about the videos and the rap song. Ralph used to go in when at the time Mayor Koch and him, he would go take the camera in there and what was the other our black mayor? Dinkins, he would go to those events and capture them, and he would whatever the news don't show, he would show it for us. So Ralph was for the culture for real. Me, Flavor Videos was really about me doing my skits, performing, being a comedian, being a clown. And the videos were the entertainment until I come back to whatever else I was going to do, stupid, taking phone calls or doing a video skit. So I wasn't in the streets, capturing, everything in the hood, but like Ralph was doing. Ralph really was for the culture. Let's make that clear. That's why he got the library out there in Queens, because he's still for the culture. So Ralph was definitely a forefront runner from the beginning, no doubt. But to answer your question about Irv Gotti, I agree with you. I wasn't mad at Irv Gotti. I was disappointed. I like to always tell people I'm never mad at nobody, because if I see him again, of course I'm gonna speak to him. Cool dude. But I was just disappointed that everything was happening, and all I asked you to do was just come back. Mm-hmm. And I had plenty of jobs while I was doing Flavor Videos. I was working at BET 106 in Park, because I did 106 in Park with Free and AJ. I did that. I did the Freestyle Friday. I was the DJ. That was me.
Oh shit!
I was the DJ.
Speaking of 106 in Park, do you care to elaborate what happens when you mess with when things go wrong and the queen is in the building?
Oh man!
No, because the people need to understand
You taking them back? They probably don't even know what you're talking about. So this is gonna be dope.
No, I want him to explain.
We talking about Beyonce. That's what we talking.
I know, but I'm saying the people.
All right, let's talk about it.
We got a mixed crowd of young and older, so this is gonna be dope for for people
okay,
who heard something. Yeah.
Look, Beyonce, that's our new generation queen. We love what she's doing. I respect what she's doing. I'm a big supporter. It was this particular time she was coming to 106 in Park to perform. That was actually the time I got to talk with Sheila E. because Sheila E. was in her band. She was playing drums for her. But what they did was, and she wasn't even like Beyonce yet. This is when she released that single from the Austin Powers movie. Whatever the name of that song is, it didn't really do good.
Like when she first at the beginning stages of her going solo, we could
right,
say,
right. It was that jam on it, whatever that song is. They put that out. But what they did was they kind of shut everything down. You couldn't go here, couldn't go there. Don't you look at her hair, and it was like, yo, what's really going on? So I guess they were prepping her for being the future queen, I guess, whatever it is. I mean, I don't want to make nothing bad out of it because I don't want to make it sound like she did something to me because she ain't doing nothing to me. I was able to walk the floors, well, part of the floors, because part of areas they wouldn't allow me to go. You know what I'm saying? It was I was like, I go backstage this way. Well, you got to go backstage that way. And I'm like, what? It's like that right now. But yeah, you talking about that time when she came into 106 in Park to promote that single, and they kind of shut the place down. Like, she's in the building. Understand, Diana Ross is in the building. You know what I'm saying? So
what? How was BT after that for you?
Well, my relationship with BT was a little weird because a guy like Stephen Hill, who was the program was a cool guy. Stephen Hill was a cool guy. The only problem is that he would say things to you and never come through. And I don't know if that's not me calling him a liar. That's just me saying, hey, man, you was happy with my work. You was happy what you see me do. You told me to hang around. I'm going to find something for you. And I'm still hanging around. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you never even, I even tried to, here's the thing that I used to do back in the days. I learned this from being around a lot of big celebrities. And I said, well, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up a lunch meeting for me and Stephen Hill. And I said, I told Penny, who was his assistant partner, she was really nice. She was a champion for me to come over to BET. And I told her, I said, Penny, do me a favor. Tell Stephen, let's have a lunch. Tell him to pick any restaurant he want to go. I know he like lavish restaurants. I don't care if it's expensive. It could be a $300 restaurant. I'll pay for it. Don't worry about it. That's how bad I wanted to have a meeting with him to let him know I got an idea for the show now. Let's go in and make it happen.
Gotcha.
But he never accepted the meeting. It's like every time I talked to Penny, she was like, "Oh, well, you know, Bobby, he's busy." And he said we'll set something up, and I'm gonna keep on him. And he never really returned the phone call back after me talking. But what bugged me out was everybody watching TV. I'm getting calls from my family talking about, "Yo, you on BET now? I saw you on BET. I saw you on the show." I'm like, "What you mean you saw my show?"
It was hits.
Hits
from the streets. Yeah. Yo, that's crazy though. That's crazy I mean. But you've probably seen a lot of that, though.
Let me tell you something, though. And again, I'm not going to just blurt things. I got receipts on it because people will tell you. People be like, yo, I was watching. People was calling Flavor videos going, yo, do you got a show on BT? I'm like, what are you talking about?
That had us fucked up. I'm watching. I'm like, oh, shit, look at it. Oh, because remember, Channel 26.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, I was into this. I'm saying, like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I'm like, no, that's not. Nah, hold on.
Yeah, he was doing these skits like how and I'm like, see, Stephen Hill, this is what I wanted to sit and talk with you about. But you know, like I told on the other interview that I did, I was able to continue on to do what I do because you're gonna find ups and downs and bumps in the entertainment field. That's one of the things that we learned since we got into this business in 1984. We was gonna have ups and downs and bumps and bruises. My career was fine throughout the years. I got to produce and work with a lot of people. I got to produce KRS-One and Shabba Ranks together.
That's crazy.
Come on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I got to work on a Red Hot Chili Peppers record, play drums on the record. You know what I'm saying? I got to write and score a song for the movie Rocky V, getting a phone call from Sylvester Stallone. Shout out to Sean and Brett Bolden because those 783, they were the group that I produced the song for. So I'm like, I was able to press on to do other things. So I wasn't
still be a part of the culture at the same time. Though. Like,
exactly.
You know, to make a living doing something that people said was a fad.
Right.
Like your whole entire professional career, though. Everything that you've been doing, they're telling you everything that you've been sinking your heart into. Because you could have been a drummer for any band, any band. But where your heart is at, and people are telling you,
I think that's the biggest point. The heart part
Right.
is the biggest point. You know what I'm saying? Because when you do what you love, it's not really work.
Exactly.
Right?
There you go. That's an exactly point.
And in this time frame, when you tell somebody, I'm gonna go do music, they're looking at you like, what? Like, hold on, man, you gotta eat, you gotta, and you like, nah, this is it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then, like you said, you making $200, whatever. And at that time, that's money, right? So they looking at you like, oh shit, you doing something,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So salute to you, salute to y'all for even believing.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Because, and again, merging hip hop and jazz, like we kind of jumped over that whole shit. Like y'all had a sound that y'all created a sound.
Right. And it also propelled guys like Q-Tip and them who actually were following us right behind us when we was doing our thing. De La Soul.
I was about to say that whole jungle movement.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, of course, everybody know Prince Paul from our group produced De La Soul. And we tell the story all the time. De La Soul actually got their name from Stetsasonic because there's a song on Stetsasonic's first album, on our album called Rock De La Stet. So instead of saying De La Stet, they say De La what?
So. Yeah.
And you can go look for that album on Fire Album, look for the song. Oh shoot, Rock De La Stet. You know what I'm saying? So, but those are our boys, those are our family. You know what I'm saying? They were happy. Matter of fact, we're gonna talk about that before I actually leave. That we got a documentary coming out, unsung documentary on TV1 coming out on us, and Mace is on there, and they're gonna tell the story too about how, you know, it was like, yo, Stetsasonic was like the group that we need to get work with them, and they were able to. They got to work with one of the greatest DJs and producer in our band, Prince Paul.
Prince Paul, yeah, no. I mean, I love Stetsasonic. I think Talking All That Jazz is probably one of my 50 all-time favorite rap songs.
Thank you.
No, because I was telling Chris, I'm like, yo, I don't remember him from Flavor videos. I remember him from the dude in the all-white playing the drums, and I thought it was the dopest shit ever because just what they were saying.
Right.
Like it was just different, and that's what grabbed me to hip-hop. But I want to celebrate you because you, my friend, not only did you start off as a drummer,
DJ first.
Yeah, DJ, drummer, but I mean, just to have the foresight to do the video thing, to sit in front of a camera and to say, or even just mentally go ahead
which we found out was live.
Yeah, which we found out was live. But just like that's like, I want the people to understand, like this, he's what hip hop was invented for. You don't have to just rap. You don't have to just DJ. And for somebody to stay relevant from the early 80s, and we're still having conversation with you now, the evolution, we can't get it all in an hour show. It's not fair. Like, it's like, no. It's bigger than us. And it's so much bigger than us that, like I was telling you off screen, you're our godfather. You're the grandfather of what we do because we got into this to play videos.
Right.
And me, Chris seen Flavor videos, but I've never seen Flavor videos. Yes, I've seen Video Music Box, but I thought, okay, we're going to do this a different way. This is us without even knowing that this seed was already planted. And then to meet you and then to see how far you go back to meet you as, oh shit, he was doing, wait a minute, he did what we did? What we're doing back then?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
man, live every day, man, like Monday through Saturday, like literally live taking phone calls. And the cool thing about my show back then was that there really wasn't any program list. It was, if you wanted to see the Lost Boys Lex Coupe 6 times back to back, I'm playing it 6 times back to back.
They got a
call. Right. You know, they went in. And there were times people would call right behind each other. Yo, could you play Lex Coupes?
Run that boot. Run it back.
Yeah, and I'll be like, okay. Then the next caller will be like, yo, Bobby, I want to hear that Lost Boy Lex Cooper. I'm like, we got it coming up. All right, but I had to play because the caller called for it.
Got you.
I wasn't
So,
going to play that one time because
on
you
our
were.
end, as the caller, we telling everybody in the neighborhood, yo, go home at this time, call. And
Right.
everybody would bing, 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 bing.
Right.
And he was playing the joint as many times as you called in. So it was like the buzz you create in your own neighborhood behind something like that. You know, and again, coming from Brooklyn, Bushwick, you like, yo, they listen to this in Queens, Manhattan, Bronx. You know what I mean? That shit is big time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And you know, there was a lot of artists, and you just mentioned New York area. There was a lot.
Right. It went bigger than that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I introduced to New York. Like I said, we was on in Miami, Florida, and I remember we got a video. This is when Slip and Slide Records, they before they got a deal with Atlantic, they did a deal with Atlantic Records. So it was Slip and Slide Records, but it was this other group from Florida. And I got a video from this company. It was an independent company. They said, "Hey, look, you know, this group is from out this way. We know if you could play the video." So I wanted to check to see if anybody played this video. So I watched BT. Nobody's playing it. And, and I'm watching other video shows. Nobody's really playing it because people thought the record was corny. I like songs that's fun or has a funny. All rap records don't have to be it don't have to be that. It's got to be something that I like. It's or funny. Either one. And I played that video. I told my audience, I'm going to play this video. If y'all don't like it, so what is my show? I'm going to play it 3 times. And I played it 3 times. And people started calling for it the next day. You know what song that was?
I do because I did my research this week.
What is it, John?
It was the song, Who That Is, My Baby Daddy, that joint. Which, if you believe it, I mean, like, when you know that, it makes sense of why it hit so much up here is because that, I mean, they knew they were singing that in the projects.
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
I would play that video because I like the way the girl kept saying, "That's my baby daddy." I was like, yo, and you knew they were from the South. And I loved it. But the company was like, oh, my God, he's playing this video, and we're getting calls from people in New York. And then all of a sudden, when the record started charting, then your BT started programming it. Then your MTV started programming. So like you said, we were the guinea pigs for these people. And all I ask is for you, like I was saying about Irv Gotti earlier, just come back, man. Eminem came back. Eminem was on my show when he was just doing ciphers. And before Eminem came on my show when he did his first record, and not with Dr. Dre.
Interesting. See,
you know what I'm saying? People think Eminem's first record was with Dr. Dre. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't because the stories that he tried to give, he was trying to give an album or a CD to Fat Joe.
Right.
Fat Joe was like
and the guy who was working with him, he was the one that brought him on my show. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that, but he came back. He came back when he did Hi, My Name. He came back. His arm was broke though, but he came back, and me and him in the bathroom. We were literally in the bathroom taking a piss. Like, if you see it, you're probably going, they not peeing. No, we really was, because I had to pee. And then he started peeing. It's the funniest monumental moment that I had with Eminem. It was and it's documented.
Yeah, you can tell. Hold on,
from
let me
that
point
shit
this
is
out.
Super dope.
You see, Shot, let me point this out real quick. This is how you can tell he's dope at what he does. You see how he just circled all the way back to like halfway during the interview and went back to that Irv Gotti shit and wrapped it right back into this conversation. Like, listen, us as what we're doing need to pay attention to this and all the other podcasts. Like, he just literally sold that whole shit and put it in a bow tie for us. And it probably went over everybody's head. My bad.
Yeah, because that's what you look at. He came back. He came back. I'm like, no problem, man. Just come back, man. Look, I got you. It's my show. I was the producer. I ran it. I own the show. I have every episode of my show. I own it. Nobody owns my show. My closet is ridiculous. I brought Mary on my show, Mary J. Blige. It's documented. Actually, it's on my Instagram too. I brought Mary on my show. I brought Please Don't Nobody in Chi-Town Beat Me Up. I brought R. Kelly on my show. This one, R. Kelly had just dropped Honey Love. This one, he was with Public Announcement. And he came on, he called me up and he was like, yo, because he was a fan of Stetsasonic. He loved our record Float On with the Force MDs. He loved that. He was like, yo, that's the first R&B rap record I ever heard. I think that's dope. So he was a fan of what we was doing. And plus we toured Chicago a lot too. So I'm sure he caught us plenty of times. But I brought him up. I brought a lot of people. Aaliyah, when Aaliyah came on, I had no idea that I was going to become friends with her and her mother. Her mother
That's
was the
dope.
most. Her mother
in
was the
peace.
most beautiful
Rest in peace,
person. Yes, and Aaliyah was. And I'm thinking to myself, and at this time when Aaliyah came on the show, we didn't have cell phones like that. This is when she did the AJ Number the Numb album. We had beepers.
Yeah, it was beepers. That's the start of the big ass the shit you pulled out the car with the big box. You had to walk down the block. Yeah.
We had beepers. So whenever she came to town, or her mother they would hit me on the beeper, and hold you, I gotta go downstairs to use the phone, go downstairs to the phone booth, and you know what I'm saying? But if they kept their promise. Her mother was like, yo, I cooked for you. And here's another thing I didn't know about Aaliyah until I met her. When she came on my show and it's documented too, I talked about her. I was like, yeah, so you know, you're from Detroit, and you know, you're a Detroit girl. She was like, no, I'm really from Brooklyn. I'm like, what?
Where?
Yeah, she's from Brooklyn. She was born in Brooklyn. I didn't know. I'm sitting there interviewing. I'm going, what? And her mother was like, yeah, we from Brooklyn. I think she's from Flatbush. I'm like, what? Like I'm saying on her face, what? I had no idea she was from Brooklyn. Because she
Look. I'm sorry I got to interrupt.
Yeah, now we ain't even gonna ask him.
No, because I had to I gotta let Bobby know that my little brother, another guy from Brownsville, is all on my neck. He's all on my neck, and he's blowing me up, asking me questions. But don't worry, don't worry. I'm gonna ask you one of his questions. And listen, little brother. Look, hold on. I got. Excuse me for a second. I gotta focus on for a second. Look, listen. I'm gonna ask him your question on our show, but I need those signed copies, and you know what I'm talking about. All right, Bobby. Real quick, for my little brother. How do you feel about the latest rollout, the latest big album that's been released, the one that's talked about, Pink Friday 2, and are you a fan of Miss Nicki Minaj? Wait, actually, you had her on the show, 7 Up.
Yep, yes, I did.
Okay. So now, even better.
Wait, so that means now we got 2 connections to the Queen, but my bad, man.
No. I just want my signed copies. You know what I'm talking about. I need my signed copies. So, what do you think about Miss Minaj? From seeing her from there to now?
I think this new album that she's putting out is great. I think she's doing something that we was hoping a lot of other rappers from the era coming in from the mid 2000s to now at least do a concept album. She did a concept album. I like it. I think, you know, she did it where it's like, okay, I'm going to do a concept album. Some people probably going to beat up on it because she didn't ride the boat again. It's like, listen, she really believes in her art, what she does. She writes. I knew Nicki Minaj when she was Nicki Minaj. Her and 7 Up, Bow-Legged Lou's son, when they were in this group called Lou and the All Stars. And you could tell then she was like, no, she used to tell Lou and 7 Up, I'm gonna write my own stuff. And I remember 7 Up used to try to help her write things. She really wanted to write her own thing. So she was really
Hold on. Now I gotta put you full screen for that because they be trying to beef with me when I tell them that the Queen write.
No. Nicki writes. She definitely writes. So for some of y'all who probably never witnessed her writing, I witnessed her writing and doing her stuff. And then you got people like 7 Up, who's one of my greatest friends to this day, and Lou All-Star, Bow-Legged Lou's son. They will definitely tell you Nicki writes her stuff. Now maybe somebody probably wrote a pop song for her that she probably contribute to, but she writes her own lyrics though. So that I can definitely vouch for. Nicki Minaj is. I love the album. I'm glad she did a concept album. Hopefully we can get more artists to do more concept albums because nobody listens to albums more today. They just go to the singles, features, and that's it. She did a concept album, and I love it.
Yo, listen, my baby bro is trying to get her to do a whole R&B album. He's like one of her road managers, and he's always out on the road with her. So
I think that'll be dope.
Listen, no, it'd be super dope if she does it and you playing drums on one of them joints. That's what I'm talking about. Later for all the, why wouldn't it? You get what I'm saying? Let's really go full circle.
Yeah, let's really go. Circle, right?
Yeah, but listen, I'm not even gonna do the trivia. I think we had enough hip hop knowledge today.
Okay,
but I do got some videos to play. I got one video that what.
I was gonna say I'm interested in this video because I was watching it beforehand, and I want let's let the people watch it because for me this one ain't no rec. This one ain't no rec and rec joint. This is just learn some shit. You know, because when I was watching it, I learned some shit. You know what I mean? So it was dope, and I'm glad that you guys send it over so we can air it.
Oh, now I know what you're talking about. Okay, are we gonna talk about it or?
Yeah, we're gonna play it, then we're gonna come back and talk about it. Absolutely.
Okay,
but,
cool.
I don't know why I did it in the rec and rec format because that's normally the way how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
But this ain't one of those. So I promise you guys, learn some shit. We got a hip hop live historian. You're not gonna get no better than this, my guy. We don't answer to nobody. You're not gonna get us in trouble. We own our own shit. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about, however long you want to talk about it. Right. So I just had to put that disclaimer out there. So, you know, this shit different. They got other Bobby Simeon interviews out there. Tons of them. Dope interviews. This shit right here different, though. We get into it. But you already know what it is. DJ RecBoys Shy, the one and only Bobby Simmons, and my partner, Mr. Catch Rec. This is in the studio with the RecBoys. Let us know what you think on the other side, all right? Let's get it.
Cultural entertainment, sucker.
RecBoys. Fallen soldiers. Fallen soldiers. Fallen soldiers. Fallen soldiers. Can't believe when I heard Coolio was cowboy, furious five, furious lovers. It hurt me when they told me that Marky D was take off and my brother Sean P is Kango gone, Miss Melody. Can't wrap my head around the fact that Biz Marquis ripped my heart apart to notice God Rock. Jimmy Spicer, Super Rhymes, Captain Rock. Years ago, I found out MC Trouble, Heavy D, the overweight lover. For some D's, my brothers from the block. Merc, TC, Jesse, Trisco, Dr. Rock. Who would've thought I'd be saying MC Breed? Fife Dog, who be with Q-Tip and Shaheed. Dada Rock from the Fantastic Five. I'm alive, but I feel like my tribe. Fallen soldiers. Fallen soldiers. Fallen soldiers. Fallen soldiers. Trouble, T-Roy and Big Pun in their prime there. Tupac, Biggie, and Big L through a crime there. DJ Doc Nice, a.k.a. Buff. Don't you think that it's enough? Even Guru. Too poetic, I remember standing next to me. It also broke my heart about Houdini's ecstasy. Whoa. Black Rob, I don't believe he's DMX. Hard to believe he's ODB. Please don't tease me. Bring him back to life. What we want easy. Jam Master J, it was hard to hear. Greg Mack, he put the flavor in my ear. And the man named Dog coming from the west side. Shock G, who brought that Humpty Hump ride. And the world's most educated rapper, MD. And Mr. Magic's rap attack and what it meant to me. Fallen soldiers. Fallen soldiers. Fallen soldiers. Fallen soldiers. Now raise your lights high so they can see. As we roll, call this hip-hop in memory. You know a list like this can get hella long. If unmentioned, not forgotten, so sing along. We going mob deep for the God prodigy. How Jay Dilla make us all wanna move our feet. Or K-Slay and his DJ legacy. Easy rock it takes two, slam the industry. To no surprise, waterfalls for many eyes. We lost Aaliyah and of course Lisa Left Eye. Them young lords who pass on unnaturally. Like Young Duff, King Vaughn, and the PMB. Like too many Pop Smoke died tragically. Like Nipsey Hussle who showed all what we can be. Before you sip that pour a toast in memory. Gone too soon, fallen soldiers making history. Fallen soldiers. Stretch, Soldier Slim, Mac Dre and half a mil. MF Doom and Dim, them London boys in the house. Little L, Money D from Canada. M-Dot from the Bronx, Miss Me from Houston. Fly Sean from Chi-Town. Most definitely, hold them lighters up in the air. Hold them lighters up in the air.
Cultural entertainment, sucker.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm talking about. Yo, Mr. Times Square. Mr. Times Square is in the hip hop head. So you gotta no. You gotta excuse him. You know it is what it is. That's my little brother, though. I love him to death. Listen. All right, the concept behind that joint.
We actually have a new album coming out in March. Gonna drop the album once the TV One's Unsung documentary drop. So that'll be in March. So while we were working on the album, a lot of our friends that we knew were dropping. They were all dropping. Like we was like, yo, what is happening? I mean, there was a moment like within the year 2019 straight through, a lot of hip hop artists were just dropping. They were getting killed. Some of them were dying. It was like, yo. So Daddy-O came up with the idea of like, yo, let's do a record where we pay homage to all the cats. I said, well, we got to go through all the names. And we went through all the names we possibly could. And when we finished the record, somebody else passed away.
Oh,
That's
damn.
crazy.
In hip hop. So everybody was just, but we got Offset. The day Offset died was a day we recorded it and we mixed it already. I said, no, we got to go back in and put Offset in it. And we did. But that's how we were finishing the record. A lot of cats were just dropping. So we just thought it was a good idea. We're a little bit upset though. Well, I don't want to say upset. Let me just say we're a little bit disappointed that Tom Fly's brand said dope concept. Salute though. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We just want everybody to know that these are most of them are our peers, but some of them are artists that we grew up liking. Nipsey Hussle, La Pop Smoke. We liked a lot of those cats and we want to pay homage to them. They're in hip hop. So if they're in hip hop, you know what I'm saying, we need to acknowledge them. Just because we're the cats from the classic era of hip hop doesn't mean we don't want to acknowledge the work that they put in as rap artists in hip hop.
That's dope, especially coming from somebody who's seen everybody from Rakim to Kane to Jay
Right.
to Pop Smoke to you get what I'm saying, to everybody, and for you to be able to just and give that type of love, because a lot of young cats nowadays, they don't get the understanding from the older cats.
Right, because the older cats are not really talking to them. We are. The one thing that, at least I can only speak for my group. The one thing that I know that we're doing, we're talking to a lot of the young cats in the industry who want to be producers and want to produce beats. We talking to them. Actually, a lot of them are working with us a few of them is working with us on our album, the new album. So even though we're producers and we're producing it, but we working with them. Like, let me hear what you got. And when we hear what they got, we like, yo, we can work with this. So we pull them in. We don't say produced by us and co-produced by them. If they produce the track, this track was produced by Kevin. You know what I'm saying? So that's a sonic track was produced by TST Production. We're not trying to take over no. If you came up with this track, as long as my guys write their lyrics and I'm playing on it and we doing scratches on it with Paul, this is your track. So we don't have a problem with working with a lot of the young artists today. But that's the disconnection with some of the rappers of the past and even some of the rappers in the future. It's a disconnection. And we don't want to. We didn't want to have that.
That's crazy. Because with you guys willing to be able to work with these new artists, right? It's dope because they get to go back and actually touch some of the stuff that you guys were doing that they're trying to incorporate analog wise now. Like I need the people to understand, because we make beats as well. You know what I mean? There's a difference between this digital and analog. Like, it's a big difference in how you can make it sound and what you can do with it when you really have it, the instrumentation right there in front of you. You know what I mean? And like, it's fucked up because, like Sean said earlier, we had you for an hour and a half, and this is probably one of our longest shows that we ever done. And we've done a lot, and there's not enough time to really sit here and chop it up with you. So we definitely had to, bring you on again.
Yeah, we'll do a part. We can do a part 2.
Yo, listen, ASAP. Yo, listen, I'm not waiting no 2 months. I'm telling you this shit now. I'm telling you this shit now. I won't. Yo, listen. I won't do it. I'll rewatch episodes of math shit. Listen, I'll go watch repeats. I'm telling you now. Listen, I mean, because I know I'm gonna watch this.
Nah,
tonight
I hit them. We
and
got
tomorrow.
January. We got some in January.
Okay.
We can make it happen. You know, and definitely because there's a lot that the people need to know. You know, because I'm big on if we know something, we gotta say it. Because if not, how we gonna build and grow, right?
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of kids now who are doing music, which is why we started doing this, right? It was to give a platform and an outlet for people to be heard and be seen. Because this day and age, you don't have the flavor TVs, you don't have the BETs playing the videos, the MTV. It's not so much of that where people could actually send their music, their videos at that and be seen, so you can place a face to a name.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? A lot of that's not happening right now, so that's why this came, and it's dope to hear. You could tell them how it all started, and where you're on that. Like we didn't even get to touch into. You got something dropping tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me say that again. I want to read what somebody said.
Okay, go ahead.
The old school is important for young ones. We show my son them all the time. Not that he listens, but we do, and that's good, Tiffany. At least if he's listening, you know, it's all right. You know, you can't. This ain't about the youth. You probably wasn't even a thought yet. What is?
I don't know what he's saying.
I think they argue.
Cool.
I think they argue with each other in the
Those two are
comments.
brother and sister. These are brother and sister. I forgot. I totally forgot. But that's the type of vibe that we have in here. You know, like Tom's Fly Brand. He's literally in the shop. He keeps walking. When you see me look off, it's because he's hitting me like, yo, tell him to talk about the album. And I'm like, yo, calm down, dude. It's
he
dope.
wanted us to do promotion for Nikki. Salute to her
salute to Nikki
for the album.
She
gotta come.
I can pick her up
on the show.
But I can pick her up because of the fact that, again, though I've known her since the beginning and watched her throughout her career, there's some moments of Nikki I'm like, I'm not really, but she's definitely a talent. You could tell she's brewing her brand again so that she won't be one of the artists that falls off. But I'll say it one more time for your peoples and for everybody that's watching. This Nicki Minaj new album, I'm proud of this album. She did a concept album, and we need more concept albums coming out.
She did it well. She didn't just have a concept album. She did it well. Like
exactly.
She really put together and constructed a great album.
As a consumer, when you have to go back and listen to it, you did your job. Because most times when you hear something, you're like, especially this day and age, you hear something and you're like, all right, I'm on to the next.
Right. Oh, yeah, everything's disposable today.
Yeah, that album and the Busta album.
Right, the Busta album too as well.
And I'm going to keep everybody who tuned in and know me personally, I don't really listen to a lot of industry music. I'm more on the independent side. I'm looking for that gem, right? I'm looking for that person I can bring up on the show. But those two albums, and I'm not even a real big Nicki fan. I'm going to keep it a stack with you. And Sha noticed. When I heard this, I had to go back and listen to it again. And not because of the connections that we had. It was like, oh, shit, she did something that nobody's doing. Exactly what you said. You could play it, and you knew she started here. She took you on a journey with her throughout the whole shit. And it I ain't even gonna lie, at first it fucked me up. That I was like, nah, hold on, I had to go back and listen to it again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't believe it. You know, and I didn't want to tell Shad this shit because he's a Nicki fucking fan.
I'm a Nicki fan. I'm a Nicki fanatic.
Right.
No, I just like the fact that she raps. So that's all I'm talking about is that she can rap. I mean, El Boogie could rap. I like people. I'm from that era, so to have somebody that's younger than what I was used to, what I'm used to growing up as, and she's still power punching the way she can rap with anybody that's rapping right now.
Right.
Bar for bar. And then she can go and do this. Which makes it even 10 times even more. You know?
Right.
But listen, we gotta get you back on here ASAP, Chris. Figure it out. I know we got somebody on the 3rd. That's all I know. Other than that,
I had them. We set something up for. We got something.
Yeah. I'll be glad to come back, man. I want to first thing before I leave y'all, I want to say, big up to your audience. Thanks to your audience for the support. The whole time that I kept beefing about, yo, I'm gonna be on the RecBoys show. Tune in. But I also want to let everybody know that us, that's a Sonic. We have a new album coming out in March. It's called Here We Go Again. We dropped the next single January 1st. It's called Notes of Impressions, featuring Rusty Jooks. And Rusty Jooks is on this particular joint.
Salute to Rusty Jooks. Yeah.
Yes, and the video actually drops January 1st. So
Bobby, we need that video here though.
Oh, I'll get it to you. I get you the video for sure. I get you the video. And real quick, if I can say this too for those that's watching.
You can say whatever you want.
Okay. Hold up. Time flies. I used to watch your show all the time, Bobby. Salute you. Thanks a lot. Time flies, brand. Watch your lip, homie. It's all love when we catch Rec.
Are they arguing in the comments?
Yeah, they going back and forth. Hey, listen.
They both family. They don't even
know.
They don't even know it.
I love the show. Let me read the comments when they come up because I love doing that. Let me let everybody know. January 14th, We Stetsasonic is going to be performing live in Atlantic City at the Jim Wheeling Arena. It's the All-Star Hip-Hop Concert, KRS-One, MC Light, Flavor Flav, Stetsasonic. Time Flies, Brent says, salute to you. I was only joking earlier. No doubt, fam. Chubb Rock. Oh, man. Kid and Play. So many acts on the bill, but it's the hip-hop mix all-star, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and a big special guest going to be performing at the end of the show. I can't give it away, but it's somebody huge, somebody relevant today, and somebody a big star. So for those of y'all who got your tickets, we'll see you there. For those who don't, try to get your tickets. Come to this concert, hip-hop all-star event concert. Stetsasonic is going to be in the building. If you never saw a Stetsasonic show, come check us out. January 3rd, RecBoys got the special coming out too. Oh, no doubt. All right.
Yeah, so we got the new intro coming out by Big Face
Y'all niggas
himself. Yeah. They arguing in the comments.
Crazy. Like, what is wrong with y'all niggas, my nigga? Y'all niggas need to sit down. What the fuck is wrong with y'all niggas? Y'all fucking up my vibe, my nigga.
Right.
You fucking up my vibe.
Bobby,
so when I catch you to one of y'all,
yeah, thank you again for taking the time out to chop it up with us. I hope, because like we tell every guest on the show, our biggest thing is to provide a different experience. We don't want to be known as, I went on that show, I had a nice interview. We like to be, I went on that show, that shit was crazy. We didn't even get to do the trivia with you. We didn't get to do the rec. So we definitely got to bring you back on because it's a crazy ass vibe. But we hope you enjoyed yourself here tonight with the RecBoys.
Oh, no doubt. I appreciate it. And I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off. He keep putting up I'm reading all the comments. Let me tell you something on some real before I get out of here with y'all. I love this because this is the way I used to do my show. I just read one of the guys' comments. He said, shameless plug. Well, what I'm supposed to do when I come on the RecBoys show?
No, he's talking about him.
He's talking about them.
He got the surprise with the RecBoys coming on January 3rd.
Oh.
These niggas be talking to themselves.
Oh, I'm not he's talking to me. I'm supposed to promote this.
So, Bobby, let me tell you, this is what we're doing here, right? So I don't know if you heard the intro at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
That's made by Big Face, which is also out on all major streaming platforms.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And Shot didn't get to tell you real quick, Shot, where the show re-airs, where they could catch this show here with Bobby next Friday.
Next Friday, you can catch it in, we're in Culture Shock Radio. That's up in Canada. Then then we got another spot. You ever heard of Guadalupe?
Guadalupe, yes.
Yeah, we over there too. Yeah.
Okay.
12 p.m., 12 noon. We there.
Listen,
hold on. And we're on Farce Radio over in New Mexico.
Oh, wow. That's dope.
Listen, hold on. Let me tell you. Listen, let me break it down. Let me break it down.
You paved the way, Bobby. For us.
Yeah, really.
We learned that we adapted.
Absolutely. We play this Saturday. That's all right. Don't even worry. The audio sounds great.
Right.
Yo, but check it out, right? So, what up?
I love this show. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, that's just what we do.
Where we at Saturday, though, Shot?
Saturday, we're in the TuneIn app, Blaze 'em Up Radio. It's super dope because they got dope DJs throughout. It's a whole radio station, dope music throughout the day. But Saturday night, we're there 8 to 9 p.m. So if you missed any part of this, you can run it back. Trust me, the audio is going to be great.
All right.
So, no, real talk. I mean, this is that's what I'm talking about. Like, see, listen, the audio. See, they didn't have this in the flavor video days. They didn't have just where you could just break down the audio and just give them the audio. Now
I don't see me, but I can hear y'all still.
No, listen, that's what I'm trying to say. It's a new wave, Bobby. Right. It's the new wave. They call it podcast, strictly audio.
Right.
So when shit like this happens, it's a safety net.
No doubt, baby.
Safety net. But listen, be blessed. We'll have you back the beginning of the year. Listen, we appreciate you, King.
We appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate your brothers, man.
All right, my God. Good night. Hey.
Yeah, we couldn't even get the drop. We couldn't even get the drop.
No, we're gonna get it back,
We
man.
did
He
it.
gonna send it to drop right now. He listening. He probably said, you know what? He already in there. He gonna hit the shit with mad.
That'd be dope. That'd be
Nah,
dope.
you know what it is, my man. He had a
But,
good time in the studio with the
Definitely,
RecBoys.
definitely dope. Like you said in the show, like I said in the show, definitely wasn't enough time. We definitely gonna get it back on the show. But shout, I don't know if you noticed, man, 2 weeks to the Rec wrap up.
Yeah,
2
weeks.
weeks.
No,
2 weeks.
I know. You know, I know. The people got to know. The people need to know.
And do you think they know that come January 3rd, we got the in the studio new intro.
Not only is it a new intro, but we're in a new destination.
I want to let them know that too. And also remember, go subscribe to the YouTube channel In the Studio with the RecBoys. In the Studio with the RecBoys as of January 3rd will not be on Facebook Live. The link will be there for you guys to click to take you to YouTube, but it'll be live strictly only to YouTube. So go over there, do us a favor, subscribe to the page. Support.
And follow my IG, King Time.
Yeah, send those advertising dollars over.
No, you better have my signed copies. That's what I know.
Yeah, no,
you better have my fucking signed copies.
But yeah, 2 weeks to the Rec wrap up. 9 artists we got slated. You know what I'm saying? We'll see who actually finishes sending in their joints. Right now, I believe we have 3 or 4. I got to double check, but I know definitely 3 or 4 in that range. But we have 9 slated. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be crazy. Again, we have one artist who was supposed to be slated for it who happened to pass away during the process. Rest in peace to Better, the producer.
No, absolutely.
But you know, we're gonna celebrate him that night as well. But you know, King, that's our time. Dope show, good work.
Yo, listen, I had a dope show with you. I had a dope time. Shout out to Bobby Simmons. You know, I can't wait for part 2. This shit was super hype. I know the next time is gonna be even more because we're gonna hit. How do you stay alive business wise in the music industry as long as you do?
Yeah, how do you change with the times? Francisco, no more Facebook Live, YouTube. Go subscribe to the YouTube, King.
Yeah, Frank, get focused, my guy. Yo, listen, that is our time. We love you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, be safe. We out, all right? Deuces, ease.